Hello everyone, you're welcome to Gusto News on Gusto TV. I go by the name Andy. Yeah, it's a great time to talk about music and entertainment right here in Nigeria. And on the news this time, we have news about Wizkid and the Grammys. Yes, a lot of things happened last night. We were actually expecting Wizkid to have a Grammy. He got nominated for 2 categories, but he lost both categories. Yes, there will be more details about that one, as well as reactions from fans in Nigeria right now, as well as fans outside Nigeria also. But before I go into the details of the news, I would start by saying thank you so much for all the amazing stuff that you do for us on the channel, liking of our videos, sharing of our videos, commenting, as well as telling people about all the amazing stuff that we do on the channel. You're new to Gusto TV, or maybe you've been a part of the family for some time and you're yet to subscribe. Kindly subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, because that would let you know each time we drop a new video or when we go live like this one. Alright, as I said, we're going to be talking about Wizkid and the Grammys. Yeah, Wizkid got nominated for 2 categories. First off, at the Grammys for this particular year, 2022. And yeah, the event took place yesterday, the 1st of April. Yeah, it got nominated for the Best Global Music Album category. For that one, we had the likes of Voice of Bonbon Volume 1. There was the East West Players present Daniel Ho and Friends live in concert. There was Modern Nature by Angelique Kidjo. There was Legacy Plus by Femi Kuti and Made Kuti. In that particular category, we also had Made in Lagos, the Deluxe Edition by Wizkid. Yeah, and also Wizkid got nominated for the Best Global Music Performance. In this particular one, we had the likes of Do Yourself by Angelique Kidjo and Burna Boy. There was Pak 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 by Femi Kuti, Blewu by Yo-Yo Ma and Angelique Kidjo. Also, we had Essence by Wizkid featuring Hems. Yeah, so these are the 2 categories Wizkid got nominated for. Though fans were like, you know what, Wizkid should have gotten more nominations, maybe even for mainstreams or the nominations or categories, like the fact that Essence should have actually been in the Grammy Song of the Year because of how big Essence was in the US and stuff like that. But you know what, we were just like, okay, 2 nominations, we're content with that. We're going to wait for the Grammys to come and see if we can bag at least one of the nominations, or even possibly just bag the 2 nominations. Actually, so many people were really confident about the fact that Wizkid was going to win the Grammys. Like the whole world, actually, let me just use the whole world was confident that Wizkid was going to win a Grammys yesterday. But unfortunately, it was reverse was the case, because Wizkid actually didn't win no Grammys. I mean, 2 nominations, 2 categories, and yet he didn't win none of it, even though we knew the fact that Made in Lagos was really, really big and it housed the big song Essence. And we also knew Essence was really, really massive in the US, going double platinum in the US and also doing so many numbers. And with the way Wizkid is being called around the world, we were really expecting Essence to win something at the Grammys, even if it was just going to be Essence winning Song of the Year or something. Just give it to Essence or something. But it actually appeared that the Grammys did not give Wizkid nothing. Well, before the Grammys started, Jada P actually came out to say, you know what, Godspeed for the Grammys. That was earlier yesterday. She actually came out to talk about the fact that she was also expecting that Wizkid was going to win a Grammy. She came out and said Godspeed, hashtag the Grammys, was expecting the Grammys. I'm sure on her phone she had already typed out what she was going to say when Wizkid eventually got a Grammy award. But the event came out and we found out that Wizkid, lost out to Angelique Kidjo and also Anjo for the particular one. And then we're like, okay, how come? How did Wizkid miss out on both categories? Everybody has been talking about it since last night, and I'm going to be giving you some of the comments, some of the reactions as Wizkid lost the Grammys. I mean, really, really painful, right? Let's see what fans are saying around right now. Let's start up with some colleagues in the industry. Let's start out with Tenny Entertainer. Tenny actually came out on her Twitter page and she said, "This one pay me sha, but we move still." Trust me, actually, this particular one actually pained a whole lot of people. Many Nigerians were actually rooting for Wizkid to win this one, but unfortunately, he didn't win it. So, we actually have a lot of feeling of pain. Some people actually feel anger right now. But as she said, but we still move. Okay, talking about another person, Simi actually came out to talk about the fact that, Wizkid lost and the whole of Nigeria is divided right now. She's like, you know what, we should actually be very united as regards this issue. Simi actually said, "Where some of you be acting like we are representing 2 different Nigerias." It says, "What is wrong with you?" Simi is actually feeling really sad right now with the fact that Wizkid did not go home with at least 1 Grammy. I mean, 2 Grammy nominations and he lost 2. A whole lot of pain for so many Nigerians right now. A whole lot of pain for, Wizkid FC right now. Okay, Atuloje Music actually came out to say Wiz is still the GOAT regardless. Yes, his opinion is that Wizkid is the GOAT regardless of the fact that the Grammys did not give him any award last night. Oh wow, so many people are talking about it right now. Grammy is not giving Wizkid any award. Why did that happen? Why was Wizkid not recognized by the Grammys? That's the question so many people are asking right now, and they are trying as much as possible to solve that particular question. All right, CDQ came out to say was at Wizkid Ayo still okay. Wizkid Ayo is still the one. He says, and you will go still bring that Grammy, come beg him. Okay, CDQ is like, you know what? You guys in the Grammys, I'm so sure that one day you guys would actually come back Wizkid with the Grammy, because he also expected Wizkid to win this one, and he's like, you know what, Wizkid, just calm down, just cool your temper, because one day somehow it would happen. You will have that Grammys, and you will not even be the one begging for the Grammys or anything like that. The Grammys would actually come to you to beg you to have that particular award. Wizkid missing out on the Grammys. We have okay, someone says Wizkid and Essence should have won. It wasn't even fair that it got nominated in the it wasn't even fair it did not get nominated in the mainstream categories. It says the nature of the systems anyway. It says look outside until they force their way in. Talking about comments, Wizkid missing out on both Grammy categories. He didn't make Made in Lagos to target Grammys. The album got global attention organically. He says he can do it again. African music will be back again next year. This is hope for next year. Yes, we know Wizkid is currently working on his More Love Less Ego album, and right now the whole attention has now shifted to the More Love Less Ego, really hoping that next year the More Love Less Ego will get nominated and will win the Grammys, because the whole hope right now is now on the More Love Less Ego, because a whole lot of expectation was in Made in Lagos, and right now Made in Lagos did not win any award at the Grammys, neither did Essence win at the Grammys, so a whole lot of attention is being focused on More Love Less Ego, saying that, you know what, we're going to be coming back stronger and better next year. Yes, you know, the same thing also happened to Burna Boy missing out with, you know, his African Giant album at his first Grammys, and then he had that particular award in his second one with the Twice as Tall album, and then, you know, fans are like, okay, maybe this is also what's going to happen with Wizkid. Now he has missed out with Made in Lagos, but we have the More Love Less Ego, which is set to drop soon, and we really hope it will be like the African Giant, so it will be like the Twice as Tall album, like Burna Boy did. All right, I'm still talking about Grammy nominations and Wizkid missing out on the Grammy. Grammy don't mess up. Wizkid deserved that award, but oh well. Last, the Grammy doesn't determine your greatness. I mean, fans are like, you know what, right now, actually, yes, we know Wizkid missed out on the Grammys, but the Grammys doesn't determine how great you are, making reference to the likes of Snoop Dogg, making reference to the likes of Nicki Minaj, who have gotten nominated for several categories on the Grammys, but are yet to win any Grammy for themselves. Yes, you have Snoop Dogg, who has gotten nominated for about 19 Grammys, and yet he hasn't won any. So they are like, you know what, Grammys actually doesn't determine your greatness, because Snoop Dogg is a great artist, Nicki Minaj is a great artist. There was also Justin Bieber, who got nominated for about 8 categories last night, but he didn't win any of those categories he got nominated in, and they're like, you know what, it doesn't really determine how good you are. Same thing happened to US artist Lil Nas, who got nominated for about 5 categories last night for the Grammys, but did not go home with any of the Grammys. So Wizkid also got nominated for 2 categories, did not win any of them, and they're like, you know what, greatness is not determined by the Grammys. Yes, indeed, Wizkid is a great artist, and right now his greatness is not determined by him winning the Grammys or not, but a whole lot of fans actually expected him and wanted him to win the Grammys. Okay, and that one says here, Wizkid was robbed for that Grammy. Wizkid was robbed for that Grammy. Do you think Wizkid was robbed for that Grammy? Tell us what you think in the comment section, and trust us to be there to answer to some, if not all, of that comment. Okay, and that one says Wizkid really maintained his genre over the years. He improved on it, didn't try to change himself for nobody, had the biggest song and album out of Africa ever built. It says a part for the future of Afrobeat, and he did not win his rightfully deserved awards because of some particular song by Angelique Kidjo and stuff like that. So he actually feels that Wizkid has actually worked on his genre over the last couple of years, and in fact, Wizkid gave us one of the biggest albums in the whole of Africa. You should also know that the Made in Lagos album by Wizkid is the longest charting African album on the Billboard World Album chart. So this person actually has a point, saying that this album is actually one of the best projects brought out of Africa in like the past decade or even the past 2 decades, and yet couldn't win the Grammys. A whole lot of anger, a whole lot of frustration, so for so many fans right now. Okay, this person actually feels that Burna Boy has some connections in winning the Grammys, and it's like, you know what, Wizkid should actually get some of these connections to win a Grammys. He says Burna Boy's Grammy Connect is stronger than Wizkid's own. He says the award na politics. These days, you go hard or you go home. Okay, yes, the whole talk about the award being politics and having someone, right, someone just being there to help you push your album to win the Grammys. Yes, we saw the likes of Burna Boy's Twice as Tall. We saw what Diddy did with Twice as Tall album, and Burna Boy going on to win the Grammy. So this particular person actually feels that there's some form of connection, and for you to win the Grammys, you have to have that connection. And it's like, you know what, Wizkid right now doesn't have that connection to win the Grammys. All right, okay. Someone says, no matter what, Wizkid made the greatest African album ever, and it is named the Made in Lagos. I said it earlier, what Made in Lagos has done on the Billboard World Album Chart, and irrespective of the fact that this album didn't win at the Grammys, it is indeed one of the best work that has been brought out of Africa. Wizkid and Tems deserve the world and all the Grammys. We really hope that this pair would somehow win the Grammys, somehow, because I actually just wanted Tems to actually win something, but it's quite unfortunate Tems did not win no Grammys. But we hope that maybe somehow Tems' personal project will go on to win the Grammys. Maybe we could have Tems win the Grammys. All right, someone says, Grammy or not, Wizkid remains the GOAT and nothing is changing that. Grammy or not, Wizkid and Tems remains the biggest world-class hit in that category. Yes, what do you think about that one? Wizkid missing out to the Grammys, and also we've seen the likes of Angelique Kidjo. There's also Ajo winning out for the Grammys, defeating Wizkid, Made in Lagos, as well as Wizkid's Essence for the categories they got nominated in together. Also, it should be noted that our Nigerian Femi Kuti was also nominated for the Grammys, and he also missed out in the Grammys. But somehow also we had Yemi Alade, who will be recognized as a Grammy Award winner for contributing to Angelique Kidjo's album. All right, guys, it's with this particular one I'll be rounding up the news. Tell us what you think in the comment section. Wizkid has missed out in the Grammys, 2 categories. The whole world expected him to win. The whole of Nigeria expected him to win. Trust me, a whole lot of people have already typed out what they were going to say. Congratulatory messages, actually, they were already said, because we had seen the likes of DJ Tune say that, you know what, when you win this one, there's going to be hype everywhere. But unfortunately, Wizkid lost out in both categories. Tell us what you think in the comment section, and trust us to be there to answer to some, if not all, of the comments. My name is Andy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.